Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about their movies, of course, TV shows, I don't know, whatever the case may be. So, okay, if he's related to Disney in any shape or form, I'll be talking about it. And I know technically Disney didn't make this movie, but it does appear on Disney Plus, so it's just thought close enough. And yes, that's Fantastic Four starring Jessica Alba here, and yeah, pretty decent cast of actors and actresses in this, folks. So alright, so just might as well talk about some other characters in it of this kind of thing. Of course, talk about more topics, movies, and yes, one of these characters does appear in Deadpool, so might as well talk about it. So, of course, like always, let's get into the story, shall we? So, here we go. Anyway, yeah, you're just gonna guess. This is the movie's version of an origin story, of course. Anyway, yeah, we can just see how these characters got to the way they are, how they got the powers, just in its own version of that, really. So, yeah, so it's basically centered around the idea again that there are these group of astronauts that gain their powers out of this gamma radiation exposure kind of a thing, and they must use their plan to defeat their enemy, Dr. Victor Von Doom. So, yeah, this individual is up to no good, and this individual must be stopped, of course, and whatnot. And that's pretty much the gist of the story. And yes, obviously, it's pretty straightforward stuff when you think about it. Very, very straightforward stuff, of course. These individuals, they didn't know that it was going to happen. They didn't know that their lives going to be forever changed. And what do you know? It's forever changed. And there you go. We could see Johnny Storm and all that, the Human Torch. Yes, of course, the Thing and whatnot. And okay, sure, that's definitely the thing here, folks. Oh yeah. There we get to see the Invincible Woman and whatnot. So all right, that's like I said, that's the just the story. And their lives are forever affected because of these events, of course. But ultimately, that's what this is. Of course, I'm glancing over some stuff, of course, but I'm just giving you the general idea here. And yes, my views would rarely just speak about spoilers, even though this movie has been around for more than a decade. But whatever, guess. Anyway, and yes, of course, it's gonna have some really cheesy dialogue. The dialogue in it is like really cheesy. I'll definitely admit that. It does have a more lighter tone compared to the other one I've reviewed not that long ago. Sure, there was that. And okay. And I thought this one was decent. I didn't think it was anything particularly great, but I thought it was decent. I did think that this was more, it felt more of like a Fantastic Four movie than the reboot version, of course, I reviewed. So that's something, I suppose. Like I said in my other video, when it comes to this group of characters, I guess I'm not saying that these movies can't be taken seriously. They can. I don't mind it really, but of course, maybe trying to mix it with some lightheartedness. I don't know how you could be able to do that. Just like how some people believe that Superman can be super dark. They can. The Fantastic Four can be dark and gloomy, and so can Superman. It just depends how the story is written. But what I'm trying to say is that, yes, while I do think that this is a better version of the Fantastic Four than the remake version I've seen and reviewed not that long ago. I mean, yes, this movie does have its faults, of course. I'm not denying that. There's a lot of cheesy moments throughout the entire thing, but I did think that action sequences was produced better than the other one, of course. Anyway, like I said, it's decent enough as much. It's solid enough as I reckon. And yes, I do realize a lot of people didn't like this movie. Of course, I don't really don't understand the hatred towards this film. I don't think it was nowhere near as bad as many people made it out to be. Is what I'm getting at. I do like a lot of these practical effects. and whatnot. I like the practical effects, especially for the character, the Thing. And yeah, I like that. I love the practical effects in it, which of course is rarely done nowadays. Unfortunately, the practical effects is hardly ever done in this day and age. Everything just has to be done in computer effects, unfortunately. So there's that, I reckon. But anyway, I'll just talk about this because, like I was saying, it's something I just want to talk about because for one of the characters does make it into the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So here we go. It's a charming movie in its own little way. I'll give it that. And he has a lot of these early 2000 flair to it. So that was that. Which the rebooted version doesn't really have that really. Of course, obviously. As for the plot, like I was saying, it's it's very straightforward, and it didn't throw me off really. So it's okay, I guess. But again, there's quite a bit of stuff I did think was better than the rebooted version. I'll give it that. Not to say that this was a masterpiece or anything, because it really isn't. It really isn't, of course. Anyway, ultimately, so yeah, it does capture the sense that these movies can be joyful in some ways, of course. And I definitely say is that sure, it doesn't have to be bleak and depressing and whatnot, like a lot of movies, superhero movies tend to be. I don't mind it seriously, okay? It just depends on how it's done, and it depends on what type of movie you're aiming for, of course. It's fine, obviously. Yeah, it's all in the writing, so again, it's all in the writing. I can go for deep, dark, gloomy movies. I have nothing against that, just to be perfect here. It just all depends on his writing. But anyway, for what it's worth, I've seen worse. I've seen far worse than this. Yes, it can be really corny. Anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 6.3 out of 5. It gets a 6.3 out of 5 from me, folks. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later.